oh, how everything can change in a matter of days. It was all good just a week ago. We beat up on the Chicago Sky a few days ago. 35-point victory. Caitlin Clark triple-double. Indiana Fever riding high. Indiana Fever fans riding high. Caitlin Clark supporters riding high. And then, of course, the dweebs do what the dweebs do. They make up nonsense. They make up lies. And the WNBA validate the lies. The WNBA validates the nonsense. The WNBA validates non-truths.
The Indiana Fever have ended their good behavior. They now threaten to boycott the whole WNBA over their accusations of outright lies. Lies, not gossip or drama. The kicker occurs. The actual nature of these lies is unknown. Suspicious. Yes, definitely. From behind-the-scenes conflict to explosive secrets, the Fever has information the league has no one to share. Might this be a power maneuver or the beginnings of a scandal that might upset the WNBA?
Stay tuned.
This one's about to blow wide open.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. This dump, this turd of turds known as the WNBA, this damn league can't get the hell out of their own way. They don't get it. They just don't get it. The diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert, she does not understand how fragile this fan base is. And by fragile, I'm referring to their level of loyalty to pretend basketball, which in this case doesn't exist.
All right, brace up, because if you thought the WNBA drama was simply about basketball, you're in for a reality check that's messier than your last breakup text. So, here's the hot, sizzling mess on the court and off it. The Indiana Fever lead by none other than the dazzling, indomitable Caitlin Clark are effectively the league's cash cow. The golden ticket, the crowd puller, the hype machine every sports exec dreams about. Ticket costs through the roof.
Sellout games, check.
New fans tuning in, oh, absolutely. The Fever are bringing the heat, the energy, and the attention the WNBA urgently desires.
You would think the number one thing you'd be talking about after that game, after that amazing performance from Caitlin Clark, the triple-double, the amazing passes, the crazy shots, you'd think we would be talking about basketball. The number one thing you think we'd be investigating is how nobody else in the WNBA has ever done anything like Caitlin Clark is doing. We should be investigating the fact that Caitlin Clark's 4 threes in that game were more exciting than, like, if you go to 2022 and check out the top 10 plays of the WNBA season, her 4 threes in that game were more exciting than those 10 plays. Literally. Like, what she does in one game is single-handedly more exciting than anything we've ever seen in the WNBA. That's what we should be.
Nevertheless, the league and its devoted fan base choose to act as though the Fever are the bad guys.
Why?
Due to the apparent overzealous enthusiasm of the Fever supporters. Because Caitlin Clark had the audacity to approach Angel Reese firmly.
This is what started all of this.
It's a flagrant. And then Chicago will maintain the basketball. Reese misses.
Okay, that was it. That noise you heard right there that sounds a little bit like a dolphin was actually a YouTuber called Flight Reacts. A laugh. All right, a laugh. That it's my understanding actually gets played during NBA games too. That's what it's all about, because they tried to say that sounded like a monkey.
Let's go back in time and treat this like an old-fashioned reality program. Angel. Then Caitlin gives Angel a good, honest foul that is fair, clean, and part of the game. Reese, the queen of side-eye and smirks, pushes a Fever player first with a full-on back of the head nudge that screams, "I'm here to throw elbows and get away with it." All of a sudden, the fans of Fever are portrayed as villains. Angel becomes the untouchable martyr as the league spreads racist conspiracy theories in the stands.
National television. It's been the most polarizing conversation in all of sports over the last 24 hours rather. Angel Reese, many would suggest that she overreacted, but Slick, do you have an issue with Angel Reese's reaction to Caitlin Clark's flagrant foul?
Yes. And I have I have an issue with the way she reacted. I have an issue with the way it's being handled by her, by the Chicago Sky, everybody involved.
Ironically, the only people occupying seats are Fever supporters. They're essentially funding the league's salary by purchasing jerseys and selling out stadia. The WNBA as a whole, meanwhile, is sitting there like a sullen audience, watching as one star and the team that backs her overtakes their own ratings.
I'm just really thankful. They kept continuing to show up for us. And they make a lot of noise. Like, they're into it. They're not just sitting there. Like, they're invested in this basketball. It's great for our league. It's great for every team that gets to come and play here. I think we've had a lot of great battles, and they've helped us win a lot of games on this floor. So, like I said, hopefully we can bring the playoffs back here and give them a taste of it because they deserve it. It's been since 2016. So, it's only going to get better and better from here on out.
The murmurs, "We want Caitlin to succeed, but not like that," are almost audible. Not as long as there are Fever fans. Translation, we want the league to expand, but only if it conforms to the victimization and created drama narrative. It seems as though the WNBA has determined that setting the house on fire is the best way to deal with its growing popularity, beginning with the group responsible for maintaining the lights. And here's the kicker. The same supporters who turned out in large numbers to cheer on their side are the ones who have been accused of racism. What is actually happening, then? Is this about race? Or is it about control, jealousy, and a healthy dose of resentment against Caitlin's rapidly rising stardom? Do you want some drama? The league's most divisive person since sliced bread is Caitlin Clark. Whether you like her or not, the league's favorite adversary is Angel Reese, as well as the Fever supporters, seemingly the scapegoats for all the conflict that arises.
Here's the reality, though.
A flagrant foul on Caitlin Clark. Listen, I was at the game. If there was somebody being racist or saying shit, obviously boot him, never let him back. I would be stunned beyond belief if that was the case. This crowd, I've sat on the wood for a million games, been in a million environments. The crowd at the Fever game, little girls, families, ladies, nice crowd. You even though it's 100% false, by acknowledging we don't condone hate and not seeing that this was a internet rumor complete bullshit, you're lending credence to this. There was none of that. It was a great crowd, a positive crowd. Yeah, Angel Reese deserved to get her ass booed when she attacked Caitlin on a normal foul. Other than that,
the WNBA might still be attempting to fill half-empty gymnasiums with free ticket signs and awkward silence in the absence of Caitlin and the Fever. Now that it's thriving, those who ought to be celebrating are attempting to call off the festivities. Thus, the Fever continues to score on the court and in the hearts of supporters as the league wavers. Because in the end, the real game cannot be stopped by any amount of trivial drama. Basketball that makes the sport unavoidable, sells out arenas, and sells jerseys. Let the Fever run its course. Give Caitlin the spotlight. And perhaps, just possibly, the WNBA will discover that although progress can occasionally be messy, it is always worthwhile.
They wanted to hone their defensive skills last season. In the offseason, Stephanie White made it a point to drill that idea home. I mean, Caitlin Clark talked about upping her defense. And in the offseason, they picked up a lot of key defenders. They picked up Natasha Howard, who is the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year. And last season, the Connecticut Sun came in first in their defensive rating. So what did the Fever do? They took Stephanie White, they took Keith Porter, they brought in DeWanna Bonner, and they said, we're doing this right.
Now let's take a closer look at this WNBA soap opera, which has more twists than a pretzel factory. After years of flickering weekly like a poor phone signal, the Indiana Fever are the team that has essentially turned the league's lights back on. They have the rookie phenom Caitlin Clark, who is not only shattering records, but also exceeding everyone's expectations at a faster rate. Games are drawing large crowds of spectators. The arenas are full. The cost of tickets is skyrocketing like rocket fuel. And merchandise sales have skyrocketed. In essence, it is the wet dream of a sports marketer. Here's the worst part, though. Rather than saying as a group, hell yeah, let's ride this wave, we received the exact opposite response from both the league and the supporters. Suddenly, the antagonists in this tale are the Fever and their supporters, accused of being very boisterous, arrogant, and excessive in some way. The kind of excess that seems to undermine the meticulously constructed story that the rest of the WNBA seeks to promote. It's similar to the league's own version of You Can't Sit With Us, but with basketball jerseys and some extremely dubious decisions over who should play.
Today, the WNBA is investigating alleged racial comments that were directed at WNBA player Angel Reese by fans yesterday at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Actually, that game was on Sunday. The Players Union says it supports, on Saturday rather. The Players Union says it supports the investigation and condemns all forms of hate and discrimination.
What is the actual problem then? After the infamous tackle, which sent the internet into a frenzy and the WNBA into what appeared to be a PR collapse, everything came to a head. Angel, in a situation that was essentially basketball-related, the league's current drama queen and the epitome of attitude, got involved with Caitlin Clark. 101. Make contact, move quickly, and engage in some roughhousing. However, this casual in-game altercation turned into a full-fledged witch hunt against the Fever. All of a sudden, it wasn't about who played more skillfully or harder. Racism, unsportsmanlike behavior, and whether the Fever should even be permitted to play were the topics of discussion. For a moment, let's put on our detective hats. It all begins when Angel Reese pushes a player with a fever. A cheap shot, if you will, a clear move. Ángel experiencias no consecuencias. No headlines accusing her of dirty play, no suspension. But then Caitlin reacts with a strong legal tackle straight out of a textbook. The Fever supporters are accused of racism. The media jumps into the frenzy, like it's the season finale of a reality TV show, when the league stirred up controversy around fan behavior. You begin to question whether someone unintentionally switched the sports station to a talk program throughout the day.
People just aren't used to the heated intensity of a great rivalry. But in the NBA, we had MJ and the Pistons, we had Bird and Magic. We're kind of used to it. As Caitlin Clark in Indiana hammered the Chicago Sky, it was like 4.5 minutes left in the third, there was a foul. It should not have been upgraded to a flagrant foul. It was a foul. And I really think if you truly respect women's basketball, let them play. Sort of like guys. Rivalries equal ratings. Sports is better with intensity. Animosity is part of it. This is okay. Who cares if Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark? It's not soccer.
This is where the plot becomes more complex, though. The Fever is not a recent addition to the community. They are the reason venues are thriving once more. Not so much for the rest of the league. You must question why there is an abrupt emphasis on issues with Fever fans when they are the ones who show up. It would be equivalent to attributing the enjoyment of a party to the loudest, most animated bunch. As their seats remain empty and their merchandise accumulates dust, other clubs and fan bases watch in silence. Remember the impact as well. The sport itself is being enjoyed by Caitlin Clark. She does more than simply play hoops. She is rewriting the story. In a league where veterans were expected to take center stage, this rookie is snatching the mic, changing the script, and making sure everyone knows she's here to stay.